The Deputy Premier has slammed the PM over claims a request wasn't made to extend support at the border.
Yeah, Tom, you've got to love those letters continuing to come out. Stephen Miles released some today that prove that the government did request an extension for this ADF support at the border at Coolangatta. We know that as of next Wednesday, it's likely the ADF will be pulled from that region, therefore really straining police resources once that border bubble is extended to 5 new shires, which will see around 150,000 people allowed to freely roam through Queensland and will be making their way through that border. But today, Stephen Miles says it's quite the opposite. He says that Scott Morrison is completely wrong when saying that the Queensland government hasn't made a request. Stephen Miles has shown letters that prove the government did request an extension until at least the 19th of October.
So there was an existing agreement that did expire then. As I've demonstrated to you, Elaine, we asked for that to be extended because that support was important and that request was denied. And so the claim coming out of the federal government that we didn't request an extension is just plain wrong.
Right, so that stoush continues. Meanwhile, though, Brendan, restrictions easing from tomorrow. It's, 2 weeks since you've had a case at all of COVID?
Yeah, so right now only 5 active cases across the entire state. Very good news for Queenslanders. As a result of that, from 1 a.m. tomorrow, those private gatherings will be extended to see 30 people allowed at homes or outdoor gatherings. That's across Greater Brisbane and Ipswich. People will now finally be able to visit their loved ones in hospitals and both aged care homes. You know, when that first youth detention cluster was breaking out, the fear was that it would spread rapidly through the southeast nursing homes. Thankfully, that did not happen. The Premier and Deputy Premier have both commended Queenslanders for doing the right thing.
Meaning that those additional restrictions currently in place in the Brisbane metropolitan and Westmoreton areas can now be lifted. They will be lifted as of tomorrow, 1 a.m. tomorrow. That coincides with the lifting of the ACT as a hotspot.